So let's talk budget and how to renovate without breaking the bank. But before I get started, for those of you who like to multitask and maybe driving or cleaning, this is one of those videos you don't have to necessarily watch. You can just simply listen along. Tip number one, set a budget. I know it sounds a lot easier said than done, and especially for those of you who have already renovated, you know it's very easy to go over a budget, but set a budget and be very strict with yourself about that budget. For example, and I'm going to be using this example throughout the video, let's use a master bathroom. You're finally going to get that spa bathroom that you always wanted. Set your budget. For example, you got $10,000, you got $10K, that's all the money you have to work with. That's it, people. So you're gonna learn, and I'm gonna segue into my next tip, where you're gonna learn how to play around with that budget, okay? So set your budget and stick to it and be very strict, okay? Tip number two, stay within your budget, okay? Again, it sounds so easier said than done, I know. But here's what you gotta do. Again, using my bathroom example, pick 3 items that you know you're gonna wanna splurge on. Let's say, for example, a faucet, countertops, and a really fancy shower head. All right, so you have your $10,000. Well, if you're gonna splurge on, let's say, that faucet, okay, well then maybe you're not going to be able to get that fancy tile that you wanted. Or if you're going to splurge on the countertops, then maybe you can't get that really expensive sink faucets that you wanted. Or same thing with your shower head. Maybe you're not going to get a freestanding tub because you want to splurge on those other items. Play within your budget, okay? If that's all the money you have, pull from other places, okay? So don't get that super expensive tile. Maybe you get a tile that's still within the same color scheme and design, but maybe it's a level or 2 down, okay? Just play within your budget and be strict with yourselves. Tip number 3, picking out a contractor. Make sure you get at least 4 estimates. I personally like to get 6, but at bare minimum, make sure you're getting 4. I personally was very shocked each time I got a different estimate for a job, how the prices just completely ranged. Nobody was even close to anybody else, but that's a topic for another day. But make sure you get at least 4 estimates, okay? And then before they even come out, have it in your mind what you're trying to achieve. Again, I'm using that bathroom example. So let's say you want to get new cabinets, new flooring, and a new shower. And that's what you tell contractor number 1 when he comes out. But then contractor number 2 comes out, and now all of a sudden you decided you want to add a freestanding tub to the mix. So you're telling him you want a tub, new cabinets, new flooring, and new shower. Well, automatically, estimate number 2 is going to come in higher than estimate number 1 because you've now added that additional item of a freestanding tub. So to really compare apples to apples and each estimate to each other fairly, tell each contractor the same thing. That way when you get your estimates back, they can be as accurate as possible. Now, as you're getting a quote from each contractor, make sure you try to establish if they will be cool enough to let you buy your own materials, or if they're very strict where you can only get the materials through them. The reason why I say this is my contractor was cool, and he told me up front that there was going to be a 20% price increase for him purchasing the materials. And that's just a bare minimum. It could range depending on the company that you go with. But with that being said, I was able to save myself that 20% by buying a majority of the materials myself. So I know a lot of you may be nervous, especially if this is your first DIY, your first renovation. Just take your time, and I promise you, it'll be so worth the headache in the end, because you will save yourself a significant amount of money. Because believe it or not, when you start adding up the thousands of dollars it'll cost for countertops, a shower system, and all those various items, 20% quickly adds up. So don't get sucked in by those pretty booklets, those brochures. Yes, I will be honest with you, it's very easy to just go through a bunch of books and pick out what you want. But just take my advice on this one. Pick out your own materials and try to get a contractor that'll let you do that. Tip number 4. So you took my advice in tip number 3 and you found that really cool contractor that's gonna let you get your own materials. So what are you gonna do? Because you're a really smart girl or guy, you're going to shop around. Okay, so like everybody else, of course, what are we gonna do? We're gonna hop on the internet. All right, so you're searching, let's say you're searching for your faucet, you find that really cool faucet that you like. What you're then gonna wanna do is hop onto google.com and you're going to type in all that information, the model number, the finish, all that stuff that you have on that specific item. Go over to the shopping tab, and hopefully right there, just by putting in that name, it'll pull up all the websites that sell that faucet, and you'll be able to see who sells it for the best price. Now, with that being said, 3 websites I personally use, and we'll check even if Google doesn't pull them up, are Bill.com, Faucet Direct, and Signature Hardware. So for whatever reason, Google didn't pull up any of those sites, I may just personally go to those sites, type all that information in, and see if it pulls up, and of course, who has it for the best price. Now, before you hit that purchase button, everything looks good online, and I'm sure you've experienced this yourself where you purchased something that looked great in pictures online and you got it and it just didn't hold up to your standards. So what I like to do, especially when it comes to those big ticket items like your shower systems, cabinets, all those items that will kind of be a hassle to return or just really expensive items, if I can go see them in person, I will. For example, we have a store here in Tampa called Ferguson's, and they are really pricey, but that's because their sale reps get paid a commission, so that's kind of the hidden cost in there. But they're a good place to just go and kind of see everything. They have a variety of different finishes by all different name brands, all the big ones and some no-name brands, but it's a good place to go and see what you like. So if you find a shower head that you like, I would definitely suggest checking it out, because I personally noticed a lot more things are being made with cheap plastic. So I like to personally get my hands on them and kind of feel them and know that they're gonna, last a good amount of time, especially putting all this time, money, and energy into a renovation. So if you can get your hands on this stuff and go to a location where you can see it, especially when it comes to bathtubs, flooring, your shower system, especially countertops, make sure you go see them in person before you go back online and get them for that better price. I personally have a little fun story for you guys. I went to Ferguson's and I found an amazing shower head for my guest bathroom that I really like, and I made the mistake of purchasing it in store, not even looking online or reading reviews. Make sure you always read your reviews on your products you buy. And then I got home and decided, you know what, let me just check online and make sure I got this for a good price. Well, the shower head I purchased in Ferguson cost me a little over $300. I found that same shower head for $180-ish. So needless to say, I went right back to Ferguson's and returned it and purchased it offline. So just make sure, again, don't get sucked in at stores like I did, but make sure you know, see the stuff, and then of course search the internet and make sure you are getting yourself the good prices. My personal trick when it comes to picking out your own materials and purchasing them, take your time. I know even myself, I'm so guilty of this. When you finally have the money and the time and the energy to go through another renovation, you kind of just want to speed through it and get started and get ready to enjoy your space. So take your time. I know for me personally, I didn't finance any of my renovations. I paid for them all out of pocket. So it was just easier for me to finance when I purchased my items a few months in advance. That way I wasn't hit with the cost of having to pay for the materials plus labor and just all at once. So it was easier for me to just collect the materials myself over, you know, a month or two versus, you know, having to pay for everything at once. I mean, if you can, that's great. But if you need to take your time and collect a few items as you go before you're able to renovate, that's fine. I personally did it. And also, I mean, I was actually able to get in on a lot of sales. For example, a lot of these websites, like I told you, Build.com, Faucet Direct, Signature Hardware, they have sales. So 1 month, a freestanding tub may be on sale, and another month, a faucet might be on sale. So just kind of also keep an eye out for those sales, sign up for their websites, and that way, you know, you're gonna save again. You can get 10% off whatever freestanding tub you want. So make sure you pay attention to those sales and take your time, okay? So if you're wondering why the lighting changed, it's kind of getting dark early, so I turned some lights on here. Okay, but I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, get my materials. Do I really have to buy everything? I don't know. The drywall, nail, like, do I really have to buy everything? And the answer is no, you don't have to buy everything. This is mainly pertaining to the big ticket items like your tile, your cabinets if you can, your shower system, your bathtub, your toilet, stuff like that. I'm not asking you to go get your drywall, your nails, all that. I mean, here's the thing. On some items, your contractor's just gonna have to get it, okay? You don't know what the drywall and all that stuff is too much. So no, don't worry about all that stuff. Just those big ticket items, your shower head, your toilet, things you can easily go online and pick out with no problems, okay? So don't freak out. I'm not talking about everything, but for those overachievers out there, if you want to go and pick out those nails and the drywall and all that stuff, that's fine. By all means, do that. Let me get close. Before you hit that purchase button, especially when it comes to, for example, freestanding tubs, confirm the dimension and the sizing with either your contractor or your designer, because the last thing you're going to want to deal with is getting a tub shipped to your home that's way too big, and now you're trying to figure out how to freight ship that tub back to the online vendor, okay? So just confirm the sizing and dimensions. Also, when it comes to shower systems, you know, everybody wants the big fancy shower systems now that have all the body sprays and jets and all that cool stuff. Again, confirm with your contractor that the plumbing that you currently have or that you're going to change to will allot for those additional body sprayers. So make sure you're confirming those big items with your contractor, your designer. That way you're not having to deal with the hassle of trying to figure out how to return them later. Okay, so just confirm things before you purchase them. Tip number 5. This is where I'm going to shout out all my designers, such as you, girl. If you can afford one, splurge on one. Okay, if you followed my tips that I just gave you, a designer is not going to be a big deal. They'll be able to fit right into your budget. So trust me on this. If you can afford one and you don't really consider yourself to be really design savvy or much of a visionary, hire a designer. Advice from a designer doesn't only affect the overall look, feel, and functionality of a space, but they will help you get the most value out of your renovation. A good designer, such as myself, should help keep you on budget and save you money. Once you have your finishes selected, your designer's job is to then go and search the internet and your local shops to get you the best deal for the items that you have selected. Not only will a designer know locally where to get the best items for you will be, but they will also help you increase the overall value of your property. For example, you're spending $10,000 on this bathroom. They're gonna design it in such a way that you decide to sell your property or get it reappraised to pull the equity out. They're gonna design it in such a way that you'll get that money back tenfold. So I really suggest hiring a designer. Remember, you're not only renovating so you can enjoy your space, but to also add value to your home. Set aside a little extra money to ensure that your design selections are going to be timeless and they are going to add the most value to your home. At the end of the day, your designer's job is to save you money and to give you a great overall concept. Okay, that's it. Those are my 5 tips. So to all my DIYers, my first-time renovators, good luck to you, hunties, and make sure you go and you save yourself that coin and go get your dream bathroom, your dream kitchen, whatever space you're renovating, and make sure you save some coin. Also, guys, if you like this video, leave that in the comment section below. If you have any additional tips that you would like to share with everyone, please let me know and let all the watchers know and write that below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow my Instagram page at Tampa Designs by Joe. Good luck, guys.